was a beautiful morning and we get closer into the desert at that time. We kind of saw the mountains rising in the back. It got a little bit drier, it got a little bit more wilder, and there was pretty much just one road that was kind of steering towards it, and we knew that we kind of had to navigate ourselves along that road. No rules and no spectators, and we're kind of navigating, you know, some kind of gray areas here, but no way we could get onto the freeway. So kind of had to make sure that we always stay a little bit away from it and then run through the mountains and more rocky bit. And we did that pretty well. The sun was coming up, we were just kind of venturing onwards, and it was pretty smooth.
Let's go meet them up.
Day 4. We made it to day
4. Earlier on, the support vehicle and my team and the car and the RV were much closer to me. At that time, we needed to shift our strategy a little bit and had to bring my backpack with me also, with water supplies, food supplies, you know, just little bits and pieces that I would have to bring along the way, because it just was longer stints between running and then seeing the team. In general, that was all pretty smooth and went pretty well. I had never had I gotten into a situation where I was too short on water or too short on food, so we were all pretty well prepared and able to navigate this little bit of a challenge as well quite well. I think we're around 30 kilometers away from Baker, among the dunes and the sand. Bagel würde ich am meisten.
Ja.
Mach mal Bagel.
Okay.
Wieder mit Hummus oder mit
Avocado.
Avocado?
So that's around 20%. Another 80k to go until our stop of the day. We're moving forward. The weather seems to be a bit more stable today and we got some blue sky, although it's actually not that warm, to be quite fair. It's still a bit windy, but feeling positive. kind of run along the road. We got to Baker, which was pretty good. And then we again had a long stretch along the road ahead of ourselves. We had a little bit of an amendment because basically from Baker, initially I had planned to go up to Powerline. Powerline Road is a long stretch shortening the distance of the OG route versus, you know, other routes that you can take. And then being able to take this Powerline section, it's around, you know, shaving off 50, 60K. So a pretty significant amount of running. But also knowing Powerline is inaccessible by RVs and we didn't have a support vehicle. So we decided on that day to try to work and run along the freeway up towards Kingston Road, which is one road that kind of cuts into the Mojave Desert, and where there was a meeting point which we kind of had defined prior between segment 1 of Powerline Road and segment 2 of Powerline Road. And so we were saying, okay, let's go up from Baker, not towards Powerline, but along the freeway, up towards the point where we can kind of cut into Mojave Desert. The road was very bumpy, it was very rocky, there was no path, there was nothing, we were just kind of jumping between bushes and rocks and fences, wired fences, we kind of had to climb through them, jump over them, then kind of looking to our left, seeing cars kind of storming past us. Then there was always that thought of, hey, are we supposed to be here, are we not supposed to be here? Because one thing that's certainly a thing with the speed project is not to get arrested. You know, when the night came in, I saw the team one more time. Again, just putting on some warmer clothes, gearing up, putting on the lamps. And then I think we had around 20 odd K to go. Again, spirits were pretty high. It got colder, but again, no rain, no nothing. And that's also something that I always try to tell myself. While I'm so focused on this one race and one foot in front of the other, I always try to remind myself to look to my left and to the right and up and down and see what's around me. That was truly humbling because it was a wonderful evening. Leading to the next place. And so we went onwards, me and James, no talking, just running. He was a little bit behind me at that point, and I think he hit a bit of a harder time at that moment. And then eventually said that I shouldn't be waiting for him, and he just needs some time for himself, and then he will continue on his own. And at that point I was a little bit worried, to be quite fair, because at the end of the day, while it's still a solo mission and you're doing your own thing, you should be doing your own thing, etc. And we're out on this adventure together. That wasn't the easiest for me to just say, hey, I'll just leave you here and you just wait here and then I'll just continue onwards. So I'll try to make sure that at least I kind of have the markings, and I was speaking to the team, and you know they took on the markings, and just to be sure and safe, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to leave anyone out on their own. But with that being said, it is an individual mission, and that person, everyone has to be cognitive about their own decision, and also as the other person, you have to respect their decision. So he stayed a little bit behind, had a bit of a break, and I continued onwards. I just did one step ahead, one step at a time, knew a rough idea of how far I had to go, and just kind of put down the hammer and just got there.